Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Brian here, and welcome back to another episode of Football Media. So really quick, I just want to apologize for what's going on with those black bars on the video. I don't know why that's popping up, but I'll have that adjusted soon enough. It won't be fixed by this video, but it'll be fixed pretty soon enough. I'll have that. It's just something with my settings I'll have to fix. But let's just jump right into it. First, I want to cover the Copa America, and let's just jump into the quarterfinal matches that have ended. And let's just jump into I'll do this in order. I'll start with the first matchup, which was the U.S. versus Ecuador. And while that was a pretty surprising outcome, the U.S. came atop 2-1. The U.S. was leading 1-0, and then they scored again, leading 2-0. But late in the second half, Ecuador minimized the lead to 2-1, but could not capitalize to either get a tie to send it to a penalty shootout. But the U.S. advanced to the first semifinal matchup, which was played tonight, and they are in the semifinals. But just really want to give some thoughts on that game. If it wasn't for Ecuador missing so many shots and the U.S. not attacking as much, Ecuador would be in the semifinals. But the U.S.'s craftiness and holding off the defense is pretty good. But I don't think their opponent that they have, I don't think it's the best defense that will stand, especially now that Jermaine Jones had a red card, and then Bobby Wood also had received a yellow card, but will not be eligible for the match. Those two players were in the starting lineup, will not be eligible for the matchup tonight because like I said, Jermaine Jones has a red and Bobby Wood has accumulation of yellow cards. The U.S. Soccer Federation tried to protest those the red and the yellow card accumulations, but the Copa America organizers withstood it, and it was dismissed. Those players will not be eligible to play tonight. Also, Bedoya is not eligible today to play because of yellow card accumulations. He is one of those key subs that Jurgen Klinsmann goes to put in because he's a good player. But those three players will not be available for tonight. And I'm just going to jump to their opponent, which was the winner of Argentina-Venezuela. And while this matchup was a bit more lopsided than what it should have been, Venezuela was coming off a undefeated group stage, coming undefeated in the group stage. They won 2 matches and tied 1. They won their first 2 matches, tied the last one against Mexico, ended up 7 points. They finished second. And then, for those who didn't know, Argentina won all 3 of their matchups, gave them the group win. And surprisingly, this was lopsided early on in the first half. Gonzalo Higuain scored 2 goals, giving Argentina a 2-0 lead heading to the second half. Messi, who was starting that match later in the towards the beginning of the second half, scored a goal, made it 3-0, and then one more Argentinian player scored, making it 4-0. Venezuela tried to come back from a 4-0 deficit, scored 1, making it 4-1, but that was the final score, 4-1. But I was very surprised with that score because Venezuela was playing very well in the group stages, so I thought they would have been playing a bit better in the quarterfinal against Argentina and give Argentina a bit more of a harder time. But it didn't seem like that. Argentina's squad showed why they're one of the better squads and poised to win the trophy. So they moved on, and they will be facing the U.S. tonight in Houston, Texas, for a spot in the final up in MetLife Stadium. So that's going to be an interesting matchup tonight. U.S. versus Argentina. I believe these. Right now it's about an hour before I'm recording this, so I'm about to go watch the game after I'm recording this. And yeah, I think Argentina will win this match and move on to the semifinals. If you want my full-on predictions of the tournament and see where I went right and wrong, you can go check out my first episode of the series. I went through a full predictions for the tournament, and I talked about why I saw who in the final. But I saw Argentina, for those who were wondering really quick, who don't want to know, I had Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, and Chile. Brazil failed me because they lost in the group stage. They got eliminated in the group stage, but Argentina is one of the semifinalists, which I'm glad about, and I knew they were going to get there, and they possibly can eliminate, put the U.S. into the 3rd place game with a victory today. But let's go on the other side of the bracket, which was the first matchup was Peru versus Colombia. That was the best match I've seen this whole Copa America. It is one of the best matchups. I think the only other matchup that goes up there with it could be Venezuela-Mexico, because Venezuela was playing so well and then Mexico was able to retaliate in that one. But this one was a 0-0 draw that went to the penalty shootout. The notable notable plays in the 90 minutes was early in the first half. James Rodriguez had a clear shot to the goal, took the shot, rebounded off the goalkeeper's left-handed post and came back out, and that was one of the only key opportunities Colombia had the whole match. They played pretty well, but they didn't have too much in the attacking front. But Peru, towards the end of the first half and the end of the second half, they played extremely well. They had a lot of chances, could not convert. So the score ended up 0-0. But from there, it went to a penalty shootout with both teams scoring each scoring 2 of their first penalty kicks. And it came to the third one. Colombia scored their third penalty kick, and it was 3-2. And then the Colombian goalkeeper David Ospina came up huge, and he stopped the Peruvian goal penalty kick, which gave the advantage to Colombia. Colombia came down, scored the fourth one, and then Peru went on to miss their last. It wasn't that the goalkeeper stopped it. The Peruvian player missed the shot completely and gave the victory to Colombia 4-2 on penalty shootout. And Colombia will be in the other semifinal, which will be played tomorrow. I'm actually not too surprised this game went down to a penalty shootout because both teams were playing very well. Peru was playing very well in that game, and then Colombia needed a boost. But both teams played pretty well. There's nothing much. If you want to go check out that game, I highly recommend checking that game out. It was one of the best matchups of the whole tournament. I say honestly, for my own opinion, is one of the best matchups I've seen. Because how each team played against each other, and the head coaches tried to one-up each other, but they were always next to each other at the end. But the final quarterfinal matchup decided the final semifinal spot for the tournament. It was Mexico-Chile, and I don't know how to cover this one because I'm just gonna say the scoreline right off the bat. It was a 7-0 rout in favor of Chile. They won 7-0. Four goals from Vargas, a goal from Alexis Sanchez, and 2 goals from Pucho. Wow. That's Mexico also was in the same group with Venezuela. Won their first 2 matchups. Tied with Venezuela the last one. They had all the momentum going into it, and one of the key things I read heading in that matchup that the Mexican head coach decided not to practice penalty kicks because he thought he might not need the penalty shootout, and he was right, but not in his favor. It was very lopsided because it was 2-0 in the first half. I believe it was Pucho and then Vargas scored the first 2 goals, and then the second half 5 goals. Vargas scored 3 more. Alexis Sanchez scored 1, and then Pucho scored the last goal. Gave it towards the very end of the matchup, just putting that final dagger. Just a quick fun fact for that is the second largest margin. The second largest loss margin Mexico has had in its soccer federation history, because the largest was a 8-0 loss to England back in 1961. So it has been about 55 years since the last time Mexico lost that bad. So it's so surprising that happened, especially in a Copa America. And I thought these teams would put everything. Mexico brought a lot of their star players that they normally bring, but it was not enough to hold off the Chilean attack, which they did not have Arturo Vidal available. I believe he was out on yellow card accumulation, so he was not available for that matchup. So it's pretty interesting now knowing that he will be available for the next matchup, which is against Colombia. And I'm sure it's going to be very interesting to see how the Colombians try to defend against this really red-hot Chilean squad who's looking to retain their title. But really quick, just to talk about, for those who want to know my predictions, I see Colombia coming out. In my prediction video, I saw Chile. I see Chile coming out on top of Colombia and facing Argentina in the final matchup. And I see Colombia going to the third place matchup with the U.S. And I see Argentina winning it, depending on how the teams play tonight. It may change, but I still stick by what I go by, that Argentina will be the winner of the tournament. Just really quick, one more note that I want to say, that Argentina will have Di Maria and Javier Pastore available because both players were out on injury received in the 5-0 win against Panama. Both players were out, but now they are back available to the team. Most likely they would not start the matchup tonight, but they will be possible subs for Gerardo Martinez to make later on in the second half of the match against U.S. in the semifinal. But that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about for the Copa America. Let's head into the Euros, which for the first time in a while I've actually watched the 2 matchups of Euro, and it was pretty fun. Just get into the Euros. So first of all, one of the round of 16 matchup has been confirmed. Spain will face Italy. That's spoilers. That Spain did win their They didn't win their group, but they went on to the next phase, which is the round of 16. They will face Italy in the round of 16 next Monday, and it's going to be a really good matchup because that is the rematch of the last Euros final, because Spain beat Italy in the final, and it was very heartbreaking for the Italians, and now they have a shot of redemption now against Spain. But just want to talk about the notable matchups. Yes, France tied 0-0 with Switzerland. They gave the win to the group. Switzerland moved on, and then Albania is looking to be one of the best third place teams to qualify to the next round. Wales also qualified. England qualified. They're into the next round. Germany qualified also. Poland qualified with 1-0 victories earlier today, and then Spain lost 2-1, ending a 12-year unbeaten streak in the Euros. The last loss they received in the Euros was back in 2004 against Portugal, but today they lost 2-1 against Croatia, and it was very surprising. It was like, I was surprised because it came very late in the game. It was at the 86th minute. Croatia scored, gave them 2-1. Spain tried to come back with about, I believe it was 7 minutes left in the whole match with the added time that the ref gave. So 7 minutes to come back. They did not come back. And also Turkey won, but there's no Turkey would try to look to be one of the better third place teams, but they would need a lot of help. They would need the other third place teams to actually lose. So, and like I said, Wales qualified. I'm trying to make sure I have Poland, Germany, Croatia, and Spain are in. Italy's also in, and I can't remember what's the other team in the group that's also in. Also, but I will have all these scores on the screen right about now, and then I will have all the group standings and the bracket in the screen also. But there's right now on the Golden Boot for that tournament, it is Gareth Bale and Alvaro Morata, Wales and Spanish players. They both now play for Real Madrid. I will get into that really quick in a bit in the transfer news, but they both have 3 goals each, leading the way, and also Aaron Ramsey has 2 goals and assists, leading the whole tournament with 2 assists, which is pretty good. Wales are on fire right now. Gareth Bale has become, since 2004, became the first player to score in all 3 of the group stage matchups in the Euro, which is pretty amazing. There's a lot of amazing things going on in the Euro, and it's pretty amazing this year. But something I want to cover about the Euro really quick is that we had another incident with Croatia and Czech Republic with the fans. Croatia fans went wild. I wouldn't say wild. They started throwing flares onto the pitch and where the players are at, and it was almost striking players. And today there was threats towards the game. I'll get into what the threats were. But in the Czech Republic Croatia game, there was flares thrown to the players onto the pitch, and it was endangering the players' lives. And thankfully, no player was injured. Everybody was fine. And but Croatia was fined 100,000 euros for this incident. They weren't warned for disqualification like England and Spain were, but they were fined for 100,000 euros for this incident. But earlier today, the matchup, there was threats. I'm not sure if it was Croatian fans or Croatian nationals, Croatian citizens, were threatening to attack the match between Croatia and Spain at the 30th minute. Thankfully, nothing happened. But at that time, more security covered the Croatian fan base because they were afraid of any incident. Because for those who don't know, I will repeat myself on what happened. France was affected by terrorist attacks about a year ago, and so now all of this is happening. Fans are causing these disturbances. France still does not feel safe, in my opinion. I feel like they were hesitant on still hosting the Euros, and now that fans are still doing these incidents, caused them to kind of question what's going on. Why are the fans doing it? But in my opinion, the fans are just doing it for attention or just trying to make themselves show up on TV. I don't understand why they're doing that. But if you're a fan on the Euros, I would recommend just don't do that kind of stuff. You're just not giving the joy to other people. This is honestly, a lot of the fans go out to watch a soccer game and enjoy a soccer game, not to go out there and be stupid and do incidents that can cause a lot more fans harm than joy, honestly. But that's one of the major things happening in the Euros right now. Like I said, Spain's unbeaten streak has ended. It ended. They won 2 Euro titles in that run and went undefeated until today's matchup with a 2-1 loss to Croatia. And I believe also England has gone through. But the notable thing to talk about the Euros, the lower part of the bracket for the round of 16 Euros, Germany, Spain, Italy, England, Wales, and one other team I can't remember off the top of my head can all possibly face each other. Italy and Spain are confirmed to face each other, but once they get out of that match, Germany's a threat, Italy's a threat, England's also a threat for this tournament. So it's very interesting, that lower part of the bracket, who can come out of top, make it to the semifinals, and go on to the final. Whoever comes out of that lower bracket to the finals could be the team to win the tournament, because that's the hardest part of the bracket as it stands. It could be one of the hardest parts to get out of the bracket to make it to the final because of all the star-studded players in those teams. So it's very interesting to see how each team will look at their round of 16 matchups to go on further into the tournament, because if you make it out of the round of 16, you're gonna face way harder teams. I am for sure that Germany may come out unless they face like England or somebody else, like Croatia. Some of those teams may not come out, but I feel like Germany and England may come out. One of the hardest matchups that people are going to try to predict will be Italy-Spain, because this is a rematch. This could be redemption for Italy. They could knock out the defending champions, and that could give them huge momentum to head into the quarterfinals, win their quarterfinal match, and go to the semifinals, and go try to win the Euros. But that being said, Spain is defending champions, so it's going to be hard to see if they will let go of that matchup so easily. So it's one of the hardest matchups to actually predict, because it's a redemption match for Italy, and then it's a match for Spain to prove themselves. But really, I think that's going to be it for the Euro coverage. I'm going to have more stuff on the Euro because that Copa America is coming to an end soon, so I have more time to focus on the Euros, because there's only there's only tonight's matchup and the tomorrow's matchup this week, and then I can cover the round of 16 of the Euros, and I will be watching those in depth. I'll try to watch every matchup and give you more analysis and lineups and all that stuff. But let's get into the transfer news, guys. Quick, one of the major transfer news that came out actually today was that Real Madrid activated Alvaro Morata's buyback clause from Juventus. So Real Madrid will be paying 30 million euros to buy back Alvaro Morata from Juventus, who went out there, I believe 2 to 3 years ago. He went out there and he became a big star. So Real Madrid want to bring him back to Real Madrid and have him in their offensive line, which is pretty good. That's very interesting to see that Real Madrid want to buy him back and give him a shot at being a stellar forward. And also, Nito has been contacted by Manchester City that they want to sign him. Most likely that's a move on Pep Guardiola. They're trying to get some more offensive and defensive sides. And Pep Guardiola, that's Pep Guardiola's style. He wants to get players that he knows can be a cohesive unit and then work them together to win a title. Manchester City won the title, I believe, a year ago. They were defending champions, but Leicester City went on to win. Talking about Leicester City, Jamie Vardy looks like he will deny Arsenal's offer to go to Arsenal's club to stay at Leicester City. I knew that. I had a feeling that was going to happen because how it's just been a year since they just won the title. So I kind of give him a couple more, 2 to 3 more years at the club before he actually moves out to a bigger club and makes like his statement, maybe out in a different league in a different country. But yeah, also Roma is looking to keep El Shaarawy. Stefan El Shaarawy was at Roma on a loan from AC Milan, but it looks like Roma like how he plays and they will try to keep him at the club. Also, I think one thing I haven't mentioned earlier, but I keep on forgetting to mention, Gonzalo Higuain will extend his contract at Napoli, and when the club is confident he will stay at the club and will not leave the club. Also, Atletico Madrid are making contacts with Aubameyang, who, for those who don't know, he is a young and upstart Borussia Dortmund player who was at AC Milan, but Borussia Dortmund bought him and then became a star there. But Atletico Madrid are looking to sign him. I'm not sure what's going to go on with that, but they look on to sign him. Also, Roma is looking to sign Zabaleta from Manchester City, which is pretty good. I see him. I kind of see him actually more comfortable in the Italian format of soccer. So I kind of see him playing there. Also, Arteta has been contacted to be part of Pep Guardiola's staff with him at Manchester City. So we'll see if that actually goes through. Also, Sampdoria was looking to sign Michael Bradley from Toronto FC, but then they said earlier, I believe it yesterday or today, they came out and they said it was very difficult for them to do the contract. So I don't know if it's either saying that's put on pause or they weren't going to do it, or they're going to still try to pursue it. But they've come out and said it was a hard one. Sorry if I'm looking down this way because I have some of my transfer news down here. Also, Dani Alves will be in Turan next week. Turan in Italy to do his medicals and have his contract signing done, because he will be joining Juventus on a free transfer from Barcelona. After being at the club for 8 years, he has gone out on a free transfer fee and he is going to Juventus and he will be playing there. Also, really quick, one more thing to know also, that Brazil has signed a new head coach. Tite is the new head coach. He was the former head coach for Corinthians of Brazil. For those who don't know, he won a World Cup of Clubs with them, and he has now moved up to the senior national squad. He will be leading them into the Summer Olympic Games soccer tournament that will be down in Brazil. I'll be covering that also, along with other tournaments in preseason that will be going on. That will be further on down the way. Also, Paris Saint-Germain's head coach will not be staying. His agent confirmed that he will be leaving the club, and also today there was a confirmation that Paris Saint-Germain have signed a new head coach, and he will be presented next week as an official head coach. And I believe that is pretty much one the major things I wanted to talk about. Let me double check. I believe also the same Turkish squad that wanted to sign Robin is looking to try to sign David Ospina, the Colombian goalkeeper. I would not be surprised if he gets signed, because he is such a great keeper, and I would see him opening up to other places. But also, really quick, I want to know, with Alvaro Morata leaving Juventus are looking to sign a stellar forward, and it seems like one of their main targets will be Alexis Sanchez. He is right now with Chile in the Copa America, but he is a forward at Arsenal. He's done an exceptionally good job at Arsenal since he's left FC Barcelona. Even when he was at Barcelona, he did an amazing job. He went to Arsenal. He's doing an amazing job there. But it'll be kind of interesting to see if he stays at the club or he takes Juventus' offer and go out there. They have not made any contact yet, but they've said that Alexis Sanchez is one of their major targets for this summer to fill in Alvaro Morata's spot. But I think that's where I'm going to end it with the transfer news. Really quick, just want to say I'm going to start doing outros for these videos, and I'm going to have the black lines fixed. I have a new thumbnail for the videos, and yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support. I'm sorry I take a while when it comes to putting these videos out. I have a lot of time going into them, and then I want to make sure I do everything right. I don't speed through stuff, and I don't take too much time on them. I just want the right amount of time. I know some videos are longer than maybe longer than others, but that's how it's gonna be, because depending on what tournament I'm covering. But when it comes to leagues, it's gonna be different, and I will announce how I'm gonna do that. But I think that's gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for all your guys' support. If you like this video, hit that like button down below. I will really appreciate that if you guys did. And if you think I forgot anything for soccer news, let me know in the comment section down below. Or if you want to give me a different prediction for the Euros, or who do you think could win, or with the Copa America, do you think the U.S. can actually come on top of the Argentina, or who will win for Colombia and Chile, and who will face in the final, and who can actually win the tournament? But let me know in the comment section down below, guys. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I enjoy new people coming onto the channel. If you really enjoy soccer, I recommend you coming to the channel. That's just my opinion. I do cover a lot of I do go in depth into my research for soccer. I don't just kind of pull stuff out of the internet. I do my research on soccer, and I do try to give you guys the best information I can. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, like I said, hit that like button down below, subscribe, and leave me a comment, guys, on anything. But I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.